Now to one of the most amazing fights you will see in a British ring this year. Cello Renda, prizefighter finalist. 9 of his knockout wins have come inside 3 rounds. He's KO'd his last opponent in 2 rounds. Takes on Paul Samuels, former British title challenger, lost an exciting fight to Wayne Alexander. He also has some good early stoppage victories on his slate. Explosive action guaranteed.
For the first round.
Exciting puncher, Cello Renda from Peterborough in the orange trunks here against Paul Samuels, who's 36 now. He seems to have been around forever. In his heyday, he was known as a bit of a puncher himself, but he's got his work cut out here against a man 12 years his junior, and Renda believing he's on the way up. Anything could happen here, really.
Well, they're both pretty exciting fighters, and they're both punchers, and they're going to get straight at it, I think.
Already have done. A couple of good jabs there from Renda. He's been told to just use his boxing skills a little more tonight. Whether he'll do that, I'm not quite sure. Last time we saw him, he blasted out Sam Horton, I should say, in a couple of rounds with a left hook. Good punches there from Samuels, and Renda has to give way.
Yep,
really
Samuels
got him, didn't he, with a left hook, and then a right cross as well. Oh, and another one, and then Renda shows his power. Left hand. Well, that's what he can do.
6, 7.
What a start.
8.
Well, we thought it was going to be like that. First of all, Samuels got through, and then Renda caught him with a big punch, forcing the knockdown. Both loading up.
Samuels on the floor from that countering left hand from Renda, just after he'd taken a few as well, and starting to unload again here. Samuels trying to cover up on those ropes. Former Enzo Calzaghe stable, Samuels, but probably his best days some 10 years ago when he was fighting Wayne Alexander in a thriller for the British light middleweight title and losing it in 3 rounds. Some people call that a domestic Hagler Hearns at the time.
Well, this looks as if it's going to be judged on who's got the best defense, because they're both good on the attack, both very powerful, but who can keep out of the way?
This fight looks like a knockout waiting to happen, but who goes down? Tremendous right hand, and Renda was damaged by these. He's heavy punches. He's really in trouble, Renda there. A bit woozy, a bit wobbly. Back he comes. It's amazing action here this opening round. Another big right from Samuel, who's been on the floor, but was on the verge of taking Renda out.
Renda did well to recover. The legs are still a bit unsteady, and he takes another big one, Renda.
Big shots. Renda's in big trouble. Staggered against assault. What an opening round this is between these two.
Well, he still looks very, very hurt, Renda. He's holding on. It looks as if that's all that's keeping him up.
Really unsteady legs, Cello Renda. If Samuel can find another big punch, he might finish it. Another right hand. Gives way, this cut as well for Renda as well. The prospect in deep trouble. Goodness me, that was one of the best rounds you're going to see in the British ring this year.
You are about to enter a place where time and space collide, where you can share, buzz, destroy, a place that will launch 1 billion yodels, a place shaped like you, brought to you, made by you. It starts with you, starting today. Yahoo! It's you.
Glenn's wondering how to score it.
What a remarkable round. There, Renda coming out on top there with a good punch, catching Samuels flush with that left hook, and Samuels takes a count, but Samuels came roaring back, had great success himself, and almost forced the stoppage. Renda very unsteady on his legs at the end of the round. Well, let's hope there's another one like that. That was a great round.
Could they do that again in the second? I think if it's the second round's like the first, somebody's going to get stopped. Renda, of course, a prize fighter finalist a year or so ago in another thriller against Martin Murray. He's in the orange trunks, remember. Renda comes from an Italian family in Peterborough. Has Samuels down in the opening round, but the veteran came back to really shake him up badly. Renda's needed that minute break. Look at him, he's going for it at the start of this round. Samuels is having none of it. He can see this as a way back of gate crashing his way to somewhere near title contention again. Well, he's not wrong about that either.
No, it's the opponent that suits Samuels as well, because he's right in front of Samuels.
Cuts damage, Renda. Let's go with a couple of hooks to the head. I think he'll revert to top. There's no defense really from Renda, no head movement. Samuels is finding him too easy to hit, and he might pay for that here.
Yeah, Renda tried to use his jab, and he's got to try and get back on that little bit of movement in and out. Just not give Samuels the opportunity to get his punches off.
Caught again by the left hand. He's trying to jab and move, but it's not really his game, Cello Renda. And he's not successfully making the adaptation. Just a slip there, nothing more than that from Renda.
But these punches from Samuels are really hurting him.
He's really digging his toes, and he can punch as well. Samuels, it's been a stop-start, erratic career that he's had, but the talent is still there.
Well, it looks as if the punches are taking a little more out of Renda than they are Samuels.
Oh, look at that, a simultaneous knockdown. Who's first to get up? It's Renda. They both landed. Samuel stays down. It's a 7, 8. He's not going to make it, is he? 9.5. Just about. What an extraordinary incident. Have you ever seen anything like that?
Well, I remember once before in a cruiserweight title fight, but they landed simultaneously, bang on the target, both going down. What a fight.
What a fight. Anybody who's missing this in the bars, might be on the undercard, is making a very big mistake. They better hurry out here fast. There might not be too much more of it. Renda with the cut. Samuels caught again.
Both of them are hurt, both of them. Legs, what's keeping them up?
Somehow they get through 2 rounds of it, and Samuels remembered to wink at his opponent at the end of the round.
Sit back, mate. I'm going to soak you a minute. We'll give you a drink, then. All right. Okay, we're going to start this round.
Both of them load up, left hooks, land at the same time, and the same reaction, both going down. Renda recovered the quicker of the two, but this doesn't happen very often.
That is what happened next, isn't it? For years to come. You're going to see a few replays of that. Here we go. Simultaneous left hooks.
Yeah, and what happened next was more of the same till the end of the round.
Could be a new sport, synchronized boxing.
Well, these two are really giving their all, aren't they?
Amazing stuff. All credit to these two. The wonder is it's lasted into the 3rd round, but this is the 3rd round. Cello Renda, so far 18 wins, 7 defeats and a draw. Samuels 19 wins, 7 defeats and 2 draws in a very, very long stop-start career.
But Ian, you wouldn't put much money on this going the distance, would you?
Absolutely none. I think the bookies would give you about 1,000 to 1 at the moment for that. Look at these, Samuels, 1, 2, 3 punches with either hand. Body shots as well. Renda, nothing coming back. Referee having another close look. Big shots. Samuels has won it. Renda's beaten all over in round 3 of a quite memorable undercard battle. That was a stormer, and what a win for Paul Samuels. What an amazing win in a quite remarkable fight.
Well, he's certainly happy about it. Shot in time, I'm not sure what that's for, but a good win for Paul Samuels.
It's a stunner for Cello Renda, who was hoping to engineer big opportunities off the back of his huge win against Sam Horton a couple of months ago. Samuels is doing press-ups at the end of all that. You couldn't write that one, could you?
No, a terrific fight though. Excitement all the way through. Every punch they landed with bad intentions, looking for the knockout. And at the end, it was Samuels who was the stronger, the fitter, and got on top.
Battle of two punches, which more than lived up to expectations. I think it's fair to say, in fact, an understatement to say.
Very good finish. He looked the stronger throughout. Samuels, the punches affected Renda much more. And a good stoppage, keeping the pressure piled on. It had to go that way.
Didn't I tell you it was worth sticking around for? Johnny Nelson was shouting at the telly, enjoyed every brief moment of that.
That was a YouTube classic. Unbelievable. And if you look at the stats of both fighters, so similar. Renda was 18 wins out of his and 11 KOs. Samuels 19 wins, 11 KOs, both the same amount of losses. But how would you expect it to end like that? It was about guts and determination. The man that was 12 years older with the experience could outstay it and take the shot.
Have you ever seen a double knockdown? Ever, or anything quite like this?
I can't believe it. Yeah, it was just. I thought, have I just seen this or what? This was. You rewind it and rewind it. Both could punch. Both looked very vulnerable, and that's what made it an exciting fight. And both of them were going, going for the KOs. Classic, classic.
The timing has just got to be absolutely perfect, hasn't it?
Because you've got to generate power, you've got to get it in the exact right spot, and your feet have got to be planted so they both can obviously dig to take both men off the feet. Classic.
On a serious note, though, a big setback for Renda, who things were going so well for him.
Big setback. I think they'll probably do that again because, again, it was close, could have gone either way. I think they'll do that again for Renda. He's only 20 years old, and they'll look for a little more longevity from his career.
Okay, that's all that we'll see time and time again, I'm sure, coming up